One for joining the first session today. So OSDB migration. Today we'll just start about the some differences between the SWPM and some DMO concept. First of all, what is OSDB migration? So what are the steps are involved? So this kind of discussion we'll see in the today's class, right? So normally we know what is OSDB migration part, right? So OSDB migration means either, so here in this step SAP involve moving the entire SAP system including their components to the new environment here, right? So this involves changing the operating system and or the database or keeping the same system on the different data center. So this procedure we can do it in the different methods. We can do that one here, right? So either we can also use the homogeneous or heterogeneous methods, heterogeneous or homogeneous system copy also we can use it here. So first of all, in the SWPM we have the two approaches, right? So one is the homogeneous and second one is the heterogeneous options. We have in the homogeneous system copy we have the options here, right? So homogeneous means same as is, same OS, same DB, but source and target. So which means the source should be, means the OS and DB should be same on the, so in the data both the source side and the target side. Normally we will use kind of to build the new system copy methods, and to build the new system either sandbox or testing, or to move to the different data center we will use the homogeneous, we will use it here. But heterogeneous normally the another name is called the migration approach. Heterogeneous we will call it as the migration approach here. So heterogeneous, this involving copying the entire SAP system to new environment where OS are and the DB are different from the source system. Either if the OS is changing, normally we will call it as the OS migration. In case of DB is changing, then we will call it as the DB migration. If the both are changing, then we will call it as the OS DB migration. But whereas the homogeneous, so entire SAP system is going to the new environment, but the OS is same, the DB is same as like source system here. But heterogeneous, any one of the environment is changing, either OS or DB is changing, so that is called the heterogeneous here. That normally we know, right? But what tools we have to use to perform this kind of approaches, heterogeneous migration? So what tools we have to use it here, right? Normally in the SAP we have the SWPM tool we have, and also in the recent we have the some DMO tools also we have. What tools, what methods we can use it here? So tools perspective, we can use the SWPM tool. So normally this is the previous approach, like it's used for the heterogeneous system copy. Normally we can changing the OS or DB or both, we can change it, just export it. While exporting you will get the option like what is the target database, and then that option we can use it. But this is like a new installation, new implementation, that kind of functionalities we are using here. It's kind of a new thing here. Entire system is moving here, entire system is changing here. But the some DMO concept also, the latest concept which is released by SAP, not latest, years back this concept is available. Some DMO like database migration option, a tool within some that simplifies the migration process. This tool will simplify the migration process, particularly for the HANA migrations. Particularly if you want to go with the HANA migrations from non-HANA to HANA migrations, so normally we will use the some DMO tool. We have to use it here. So it's allowing the combination of the software update and also the DB migration in single step. In single step, we can move the SAP. Means in the single step we can update the SAP. Also we can change the OS or and database, and we can with the system move option or without system move option or without touching the SAP. We can use the different scenarios in the some DMO option based upon the customer requirement. We can use this tool. Why? Because this is a with single procedure, single step we have to do that one. But here, if you want to perform the system update, first you need to migrate, then you can perform the system update, right? So that is the one thing. Or first of all, you need to upgrade the system, then you need to do the migration. There is a two-step approach method that, but this will follow the export, SWPM export and import method, right? But this is the single step. We can migrate the databases from the one version to another version. We can migrate it here. So a tool within the SAP that simplifies this migration process, particularly for the HANA migration, it allowing for a combination of the software update and database combination of two steps here, right? So in one tool, one process, we can update the SAP systems as well as the only database migration in one step. You can perform it here, right? So this DMO feature is available in the sum tool here, in the one step database migration, either in place or with system move. Also we can migrate it here, right? In place. In place means without changing the SAP, Suppose example, this is your Windows host. Here you have the SAP system. Here you have the database is available here, but there is a Linux environment you have. So, but this is on the cloud or this is the on premises. This is on the cloud or this is on the either target is on the cloud or target is on the premises. It's not a matter. What we can do. So either I want to change only database without touching the SAP. Then in this case, this kind of customers, what we can do, this is the SAP. Okay. This kind of things, what we can do, this is the only SAP and DB here, right? This is the database here. So then what we can do, this is the Windows. For example, this is the Windows VM separate data center. This is the Linux VM separate data center here, right? So what we have to do, the customer wants to migrate only database from the non-HANA. This is the non-HANA database. So non-HANA database to the HANA database here. This is the HANA database here. So you want to migrate it here. So then we can use without touching the SAP, only database migration we can perform it. That feature is available in the some DMO option. Or sir, I want to migrate entire this host. I don't want to my SAP and my database should be here. I want to change my SAP also to the Linux host or on-prem to cloud, or so on-prem to cloud, and with the system move option. Then that options also here which is available. There the number of options are available in the some DMO. The use case I will explain it, but that is also procedure. So one customer, sir, I don't want to change my SAP system. I want to change my non-HANA database to the HANA. HANA should be the different host, Linux host. I want to change it. Means in that case, you can use the some DMO without system move option. If you use it, then SAP will stay same here. Then only the database will move to the HANA. Then it will, the connection will point to the HANA, this database. Anytime tomorrow, if any issues, the source system will stay same. Nothing will happen to the source database. Immediately we can fallback option. We can do the fallback. That procedure is available in the some DMO. With that's called the easy reset option is possible in the some tool. But in the classical migration, so the some SWPM tool, when you are using, you need to do the export and you have to do the import. You need to build the new system. There is a different procedures. We have to involve it. It's a long procedure. And also if you want to roll back the changes, again, you need to do the restore or recovery. That kind of options you have to use it with the SWPM tool export and import method. So normally SWPM tool we will use like system copy to build the new systems. But nowadays everybody is using the and some DMO option, many customers. Why? Because in the single step, if they want to update the SAP system to the one to another, and also they can also migrate the databases to the one place to another place, Windows to non-Windows, on-prem to on-prem, on-prem to cloud. So same some DMO tool will help us to perform this kind of scenarios here, right? So this one normally, normally in the short, the OSDB migration is a process of moving or upgrading an SAP system to another environment, or either same environment, just only SAP will stay and we can only database we can move to them here. Like, which means including the changes to the underlying operating system or database which is using, like here, right? Either tools like SWPM or some tool we can use it here, but with some DMO offering, there is a streamlined approach for the database migration. And also essentially, we can also do the S4, same tool we can use for the S4 HANA conversion as well. Not only just to changing the database, S4 HANA conversions also we can use with the same tool here, right? That is called the S4 HANA and SAP HANA. It's mainly for the SAP HANA here, right? So here the tools like here, we have some many tools we can use it. The tools like SWPM tool, right? That we know SWPM tool, and the some tool, some DMO option, database migration options, we can use it. And also, if you remember, there are the other tools also available to converting the within the some tool. There is some tool will instantiate the R3 load tool and R3 SZ check tool for the calculate the size and everything. This will be part of the some tool only. And there is some other tools here, the Migmon, and also Migmon for the Java systems here. So these are the some other tools also we can use it, the tools and techniques. This is a advanced the migration monitoring tools, but the some tool, some DMO will use the R3 load internally. There is a kernel files called the R3 load. It will use the R3 load for exporting the data, only for the data migration. Some tool will use it for the some DMO will use the one internal concept is called the R3 load concept. This will do the export, this will do the import. Data migration perspective, this will use the R3 load and R3 SZ check concept here. So some DMO will use the R3 load concept. It will use it to migrate the data here, right? So this is the here. The main thing is here. So one single tool, we can migrate the data to the so we can migrate the data from one environment to another environment, in place migrations, and also move to the S4 HANA. And also without touching the SAP, we can only migrate the data. Then many scenarios are there, we can use it here. Depends upon the customer scenario, we can use the many scenarios, we can use it here, right? That is the main important thing here. So let's talk about some differences between the the key differences between the SWPM and some tool here. Why? Because they are the two key tools we are using here, right? SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager, and some tool we are using for different migration scenarios we are using here, including heterogeneous migration and database migrations we are using here, right? Let's talk about some key differences here, right? So SWPM tool is used for the heterogeneous system copy, which involving the migration to the SAP to the new hardware with a different operating system or different database than source. Then there is an option SWPM, the earlier option, which we can use it here. But some tool also, there is a some tool in the some tool as well. So the database migration option is available, is used for one step migration. But here there you need to follow the multiple steps and everything here SWPM. But this is the one step approach, one step migration, combining the upgrade, SAP upgrade. If you want to perform the SAP upgrade, you can upgrade the SAP upgrade. Also, you can use the DB migration as well. One step upgrade plus DB migration to HANA database. The only thing is this is possible to the only HANA database only in a single operation. So you can also upgrade the HANA and you can also upgrade the SAP system, and also you can also migrate to the HANA data. But SWPM, so you can use, suppose like you want to move to the SQL to Oracle or SQL to DB2 to do some different things. You can use the SWPM tool is the best tool here. But some DMO is only for the migrating in non-HANA to HANA databases. We can use the some DMO tool. We can use it here. DMO is there is one of the future in the sum tool. So sum tool we can use. So when you are doing the database migration option, so sum tool will automatically internally will activate the DMO feature to migrate the database as well as the data migration techniques as well here. Right, that is the differences here. And also if you see the some of the key differences here, so suppose SWPM, there is a two-step migration where first you need to copy the system to the new hardware with different OS and database. Then after that you need to upgrade the software, right? That is the SWPM will take care of. First you need to do the copy as is, you need to build it on the target. Then you need to, if you want to perform the upgrade, you can perform the upgrade of SAP systems here. But here this is one step approach. At the same time system will be upgraded and the database also will be migrated to the new hardware, new HANA with system move or without system move. We can use this option here, right? So first copy the new hardware, then upgrade the SAP software. This one, this is like a one step migration that combines the both system upgrade and database migration to the HANA in single operation here, right? So SWPM facilitates the data migration as part of the heterogeneous system copy. It is a separate step from the upgrade. There is a separate step from the upgrade that we have to perform it here. But here database migration to the HANA as part of the upgrade process, as part of the system upgrade only, the data also will be migrated to the HANA database here. But with the SWPM tool, data migration is part of the heterogeneous system, separate step. Data migration is the separate step is the here. That's why if you want to one step approach, then you can go for this one. If you want to use the SWPM, first you need to upgrade, then you need to do the migration to the system here. So the complexity, SWPM is more complex than some tool here. The production, especially for the production operations, non-production, we can manage the downtime, especially the production operations, but especially for production, the SWPM can be more complex, especially for the production migrations. So why? Because it's required, SWPM required the more manual decisions regarding the table splitting. Sometimes we may have to do the table splitting, might involve the separate database migration after the system copy. So that kind of things we have to perform it here, right? Why? Because upgrade, table splitting, and then database data DB migration we have to perform it here. But when it comes to the some DMO here can be simplified. It is simplified and more streamlined for the database migration to the SAP HANA. Database migration to the SAP HANA. This is a streamlined process. Why? Because this combines the SAP system upgrade as well as the migration in one step. Upgrade and migration in one step here, right? So in essential, SWPM for the heterogeneous, maybe if you want to move the system to the new hardware, different OS, different database configurations, the SAP will be the same. Then you can use it here. Some DMO is for the one step migration to the SAP HANA. So one step like upgrade and everything, you can use this concept here. Use this concept here. Sir, can you tell me in a nutshell, like, can you tell me the use cases for the sum tool first of all? Because you are telling like in our conversation with system move, without system move, with database migration, without database migration, with SAP update, without update SAP update. Can you tell me some of the SAP some tool use cases here, some use cases here, some use cases here, right? So let's give some information on the some use cases here, some DMO, some normally we know some only for the updating the SAP components, right? But here some can not only update the SAP component here, update SAP components. So we can also execute the database migration for above systems. We can also use the database migration option. Also, we can use it here, right? So DMO in the sum tool, there is a DMO option. It's combine the software update with the database migration, both in the single time. So software update and data migration, DB migration, both are in the combined, and both are software update with database migration, not the separate step. So both are in the here, right? Some DMO, only talking about the some DMO, some database migration option I am talking about. To only migrate the database without software update. Sir, some customer, they don't want to update the software SAP. Only they want to migrate. So only database migration option is available. Only the DB migration. That there is a option in the sum tool, DMO without system update option you need to check. Without system update option you need to check the option during the procedures. And the standard DMO is like a in-place procedure. There is a in-place migration. It keeps the applications server unchanged, only changes to the DB host. That is also possible. The standard DMO, like in-place migration, that I can say like in-place migration, in-place migration here, which means application server will stay same in case of you have the high availability or DB in the distributed environment. In place migration, only database we can change it. In case of standard means SAP DB on the same host, then without touching the SAP DB only we can map to the target. That's possible here, right? In addition to the DMO, the move scenarios also we can use it here. DMO with move scenarios here, move scenarios, move options here. DMO with move options here. So DMO with move options means, so there is some complete system to the different environment is possible. Suppose the customer is in the Windows or one data center or source is like a on premises, they want to migrate to the cloud. They want to migrate to the cloud. So cloud, there is a AWS, you have the cloud migrate, you have to do that one. Then some DMO with move option we can perform it here. Some DMO with move option we can perform it here, which means DMO with system move, DMO with system move, the system move. The target is like anything, either on-prem to on-prem or on-prem to cloud or one data center to another data center. But only thing is we need to allow the sum tool to connect to the target system, which means either we need to open the firewall port on the target system or we need to open the gate to some to place the data into the convert the data into the target. That kind of options we need to use it. DMO with the system move option here. The second one option is here, the move scenario. So DMO with system move and also DMO with the system move with S4, directly converting to the S4 as is we can do that one, or DMO with S4 HANA conversion here, simplifying the conversion to the S4 HANA system here. So this approach also we are following here, and this approach also we are following for the OSDB migration. This is following for the S4 HANA conversions here, right? DMO, the one of the important thing is the some DMO tool is here, the easy reset procedure. Any point in time, easy reset of procedure, at any point in time here, easy reset. So anytime if you want to go back to the previous database, source database, easy you can reset it out. That possible. Why? Because here it's only copying the data to target, but source database will stay same, right? Then easy you can do the reset to the target system. That is possible here, right? And also DMO support migration to the target HANA database like HANA database, depending upon the scenario. Other databases as well, like Sybase, I think. But some SWPM tool, you can move to the Oracle to Oracle, some other DB to some other MaxDB. But here, the DMO supports the database migration to the target database. Target database, that is possible here, and the other database depends upon the scenario, the other database type also possible here, right? So here, sir, is there any future to reduce the downtime? Normally you are telling like DMO with system move option, SWPM option, that's fine, but always I need is how can I optimize the database migration options? Because customers always look for the optimizations, right? Either downtime optimized or so downtime optimized options here. In that case, how can I optimize it here to reduce the downtime? To reduce the downtime here, we can use the in the some DMO there is a option is called the downtime optimized DMO. There is a option is called the approach is called the downtime optimized DMO can be used with this migration, this with this future in the sum tool. This is only available in the sum tool. In this option, only the selected tables. What is this downtime optimized option means? The basically uptime activities are more. Uptime is more. Uptime is more here. Downtime is less, uptime is more here. So that purpose we have the uptime is more. So downtime will be reduced. Sir, why uptime is more means? So here we can choose the largest tables to migrate the data, largest tables. We can migrate the selected largest application tables in uptime so that this table conversion will be less, means less tables we are that is doing in the downtime, so that the downtime will be reduced. That is possible for here. So it will consider potential changes by only. So some tables actually as part of the conversion or migration, some tables that does not, the end users will not update frequently, right? Those are the some non-updated tables are frequently less changes tables here. Those tables we can convert or we can migrate during the uptime itself. So if you choose this downtime optimized DMO option, these all are the features are available in the DMO when you are using the DMO in your scenario selection time. So you will get the this kind of options. I will show you when we are doing the activities here. So when you are doing that this downtime optimized DMO, it will ask the please provide the list of tables in the notepad. Then we need to check the which tables are the less changed in the as per the previous forecasting for is the previous casting. Then we can find out the list of large tables that we can provide to the in the sum tool during the downtime optimized DMO. Then those tables will be converted and upgraded during the uptime time. Then so the remaining tables so will be migrated during the downtime phase here, right? So we'll migrate the selected large application tables in the uptime, so that uptime it's migrating. So downtime there are less changes. So it will consider the potential changes by the end users, so that downtime will be reduced. Downtime will be reduced here. But this downtime optimized DMO with system, when you are moving the system move, that is not available. System move option DMO is not, means downtime optimized DMO is not, there are the some so implications as well for this some DMO also. What is that? So DMO with system move option, downtime optimized not available for the system move options. Downtime optimized DMO not available. So if you are using the system move option, then sir, I need downtime optimized means that is not available. DMO is available only for the in-place migrations only, and also to S4HANA conversions only, that is available, not for the system move. And I want to minimize the downtime means that is not possible. There is a one concern here, one constraint here. Okay, that is the one. So that is the main thing here, right? And also for the some tools we will use it here. So some 1.1 nowadays, you know, right? Some 1 for the above based systems. So 7.40 or lower, it allows to execute the Unicode conversion as part of the migrations and everything that we know. Some tool version, some tool, I think some 1.1 and some 2.0 are also available here. Some 1.1 is for the above systems, the 7.4 above system, 7.4s are lower, and also it will allow us to execute the Unicode conversion as part of the migrations. That is possible here. Now overall this procedure, these are all the use cases here. Then some will internally will initiate the one of the processes called the R3 load process. This R3 load process will do the data migration. Who will do the, some tool will do the data migration, but internally some will initiate the one of the kernel is called the internally in the some folder. There is a bin. In the bin folder I will show you, there is a R3 load kernel is available. This R3 load will come as part of the some archives, so that this will some will initiate the internally will call the R3 load process. This process will do the data migration by R3 load tier. Some deliver its own R3 load tool which is used for migration of the application content. Some starts during the some procedure. So normal overall, some start the several R3 load process to work on the packages to export the data from the source, then import into the target database. But R3 load of and the both R3 load pairs are running on the same host, and one is to the export and second one is the exchanging the data to the target using the pipe mode of the R3 load. It will use it here, right? That and all the things we can see during the procedure actual execution, that things we can see here. The only one advantage is some data migration by R3 load is fast processing. There is no dump files are created, no compression of the files are required. Why? Because it's kind of a memory pipe mode. It will transfer the data to target HANA database level. So target HANA database level. So there is a uptime migration, that is we will call it as the downtime optimized DMO with some 2.0 that is possible to reduce the downtime. They have introduced the concept is called the downtime optimized. That is what I explained here. Downtime optimized DMO. This will be approach like uptime. My uptime activities are more and downtime activities are reducing. Why sir uptime activities are more means the normally as part of the downtime tables will be the tables and tables data will be migrated to the target. The tables data is more, then it will take longer time to upgrade, right? But if the tables, some tables if you do it in the uptime, then uptime activities are more than downtime activities are less here, right? That is the main thing here, right? So in this is the just some in the nutshell. This is the use cases for the sum tool, what approaches what we have in the sum DMO tool, and also the differences between the SWPM and the sum tool here, the differences between the sum and here. So now coming to the our work here. So the approach we are I'm proposing here. So Windows, first of all, what is our approach here? Windows, then so we have the ECC on SQL will build the one host. We will load the some data, or we have the some systems are there where already some data is there. So then that data only few, not much more than 10 GB data that we can load to the here. We can do the refresh of this one. Okay, then we'll do the migrate to and HANA database without changing SAP. This is the first approach, as only database and their environment is changing. This we will do it in the as part of the OSDB migration approach. Okay, is it okay for everyone? ECC on SQL Server, then ECC we are keeping on the same Windows only the database OS and DB we are changing, or we can also use the with system move option also we can use it. So ECC and the database also will change it to the target system. That is also we can use it, or without changing the SAP also we can use it. These two approaches we can follow. So last two batch we used the ECC will stay on the SAP only. Then source database will stay on the same. Then only database we change it to the target HANA database from Windows to Linux. Then after that we also tested the rollback procedure, easy reset procedure also we tested it out, so that same as is will come like source before after the migration also after the reset. That procedure, the rollback procedure also we tested during these procedures. This is the first our content here. So now we need to have the one Windows system that I will create the access. Then we will do the installation. Maybe if you want to know the installation as well, then in the class itself we'll do the installation, SAP installation, ECC installation on the SQL server. Then I will share the credentials group, each and everything, so that we will connect and we will install the one SAP system on SQL. Then we will do the post-X, we will do the one some of the custom code, some of the custom data we will load to the in this ECC new ECC system. Then we'll work on this part. So that is our wish, how we want to proceed. So then after that we'll start the sum tool on the source. Then we'll see the OS requirement, that is the how the OS, what is the OS, then what are the target OS requirements, then sizing we need to calculate to prepare the target HANA database. So these and all the things we have to execute it. But before that, system should be ready, the source system should be ready, right? This is what we have to do, that one. Source system should be ready status here. Then so are we good this approach, like ECC on SQL, then we will migrate to the HANA database, but the database we changing, then later we can do the reset to the target source again. Then we'll start the S4 activities here. So first OSDB activities, OSDB migration activities. Then so this is the approach.
Hello, Ravindra sir.
Yes, please.
So those are operating system will also change, like Windows to Linux.
Yeah, that's Windows to Linux. The SQL is changing from Windows to Linux. We are changing. We want to change this one as well, SAP also. That is also possible.
Okay, okay.
Sir, I have pasted one thing in the chat. Can we do that?
SAP SWPM, HANA DB, some DMO, conversion, some MBO. What is that MBO?
Sorry, DMO, sorry.
DMO, R3 like Migmon. Okay. You pasted many things that and all that. SAP SWPM, we will do the installation, right?
We can migrate to like Windows to Linux application with move option. Then in HANA we can do in place also, where already SQL to HANA we can take it to Linux using some.
So that some DMO will take care of that part. Anyhow, this we are covering, right? HANA DB, some DMO.
Yes.
SAP. So here SWPM, there is no in place here. There is no like we are not using SWPM. SWPM is only for the building the new systems, or if you want to use the system copy heterogeneous, that time we can use the SWPM export import. If you use the SWPM, there is no use of the some DMO concept. Okay. If you want to use the some DMO, either any one of the tool we have to use it.
So my question was like, can we do the migration of SAP application using SWPM? or is it for only database?
Yeah, SAP application you are migrating means the database also will be migrating to the target HANA database, right? Either you need to use the some DMO or you have to use the either SWPM. Either any
So
one of
only
the tool
one
we
tool
have to
we
use.
need to use for both.
Both we cannot use it at the same time.
No,
Either
no,
any one
I'm
of the tool
asking
we have to use.
any one tool we need to use for both migrating SAP and DB.
Yes, right. Any one of the tool, one tool. Yeah, this is the second approach. The second DMO with the system move to S4. That is a S4 HANA conversion. That is a scenario number 2. That we are going for the S4 HANA conversion, right? After the OSDB migration, this we are following. That is fine. That we are following this one. Only now OSDB migration scenario we are discussing.
Sir, Windows to Linux or MaxDB to HANA and ECC to S4. Is it possible all three together?
So
Hello.